right, well, day one of full squad spring training for the Padres, and we've got some encouraging news. Xander Bogaerts playing second base this season. Ha-Seong Kim, shortstop. I just watched the clip from 97.3 The Fan. Sammy Levitt does a great job there at spring training. Kevin Acee asked that question to Mike Shildt about Xander. What's going to happen there? And so props to Kevin for getting that out of Shildt, and then Shildt announced that to the media. And he said today in that scrum, at least from the initial video that I saw, that this is not like etched in stone, like this is going to happen. But for now, the plan essentially is Bogaerts is going to be at second with Ha-Seong Kim at shortstop. Now, what does this mean? My reaction to this, once the minute I saw this news, I'm like, okay, that deserves applause. It just feels like last year there was not enough sacrifice from this team, whether it was Josh Hader, whether it was Juan Soto, or whoever the stars were. I don't want to paint Juan Soto like he wasn't sacrificing. He played every game. But I meant like where you were hitting in the lineup. Remember, that was a big conversation. And Bob, there was the questions about that at spring training. And it felt like Bob was letting players determine where they were going to be in the lineup at times, instead of just saying, no, you're hitting here. I don't care. You're hitting here. You're hitting here. I'm the manager of this team. And so whether this was a Mike Shildt decision and he brought it to Xander and said, I want you to do this, whether it was Xander, I don't think Xander came to the team, but Xander was willing to do it and he was sacrificing. That's what Mike Shildt is saying here to the media. And yeah, I applaud Xander Bogaerts for doing this. Just like Mike Shildt admires Xander for doing this, I admire Xander for doing this, because obviously major league players, they have an ego, and it can't be easy to move over there to second base when you view yourself as probably one of the better shortstops in baseball. And you have this huge contract, and in year two, going into year two of this big contract, the team is telling you to go play second base, or whether it was the team or you're going over to a position that you don't have a lot of experience in. How many games has Xander Bogaerts played? I think he's played 0 games at the major league level at second base. Now, shortstop, second base, it's both middle and field. I've never played in the big leagues, but I played shortstop and second base when I was growing up, and it's a little bit different, obviously, but it's easier to adjust from shortstop to second base than shortstop to right field or left field or center field, like Jackson Merrill is trying to do right now. So here are the defensive positioning splits career for Xander. Third base, 52 games. Shortstop, 1,330 games. DH, 21. Pinch hitter, 12. As a pinch hitter for the DH, 3. 0 games at second base. So yes, as I just said, transition. Yes, it'll be a transition. But why I was frustrated with the Xander quote, remember from the end of last year, Xander was like on a potential move, I think it was to first base. He said it felt like he was more willing to move to second base, but he was like, that's closer to the bench. And I'm like, dude, why? Like, that's part of the problem, is not enough sacrifice. You've already made your money. You got $280 million guaranteed on that contract. Do what is best for the team. We in San Diego don't care that you won those World Series in Boston, right? And there aren't a ton of people that can say that they won a World Series, or at least played a big part in winning a World Series for multiple teams in big league history. Of course, there are names, but not everyone does that. So that's a special thing. And to bring a World Series championship to a city that has never done it before, which Boston already had, I mean, that should be a lot of motivation right there. And I don't know if this is Peter Seidler motivation, like, man, we got to win one for Peter, and I feel bad about what happened in 2023. Didn't make the postseason last year as the chairman of the team, obviously, and I need to make that up, and I need to be a team player. I don't know what it is, why, but the want to win, the desire to sacrifice, I'm already encouraged by that. Like, this is different than what was happening last year, right? Guys quitting, not moving position or having quotes about closer to the bench. Don't want to do that. Closer to the bench. Things like that, where it's like you wonder why things aren't going that great. So hopefully this is a good sign here. Was this the right move? I actually would kind of prefer Xander to go to first base and have Cronenworth play second and Kim at shortstop. I think Cronenworth is more valuable at second base than at first base. And I think Xander is more of a power bat than Cronenworth is. And there's the bigger power bat should probably be at first base, right? I think Xander could do a good job at first base. He'll do a good job, I think, at second base. He wasn't terrible at shortstop last year. Kim is just a better defender. He's the best defender, arguably, on the. I mean, I know Manny is really, really good. I'm not saying Kim is as good at third base as Manny is at third base, but like utility, I mean, he just won the utility gold glove, obviously. In terms of playing multiple positions and being great at multiple positions, Kim is that guy. And he's obviously like his position is shortstop. And there's a lot of shortstops on this team. Who is the best defensive one? It's Ha-Seong Kim. So yeah, him playing shortstop, I think that's great. I do wonder, does this mean like this is going to be the infield now for the next decade or the next 7 years, whatever the Kim extension might be? Because there are the Padres, right? There's reporting out there from Kevin. I think Dennis said it yesterday about how the Padres will try to extend Ha-Seong Kim. And Ha-Seong Kim was talking to the media today, and he was pretty much saying that's going to be between his agent and the Padres. He loves being with the Padres. He loves the Padres fan base and doesn't know if he'll get that same amount of love if he goes somewhere else. He's content with the Padres. So everything you want to hear with Ha-Seong Kim. He wants to stay is what it seems like. I see this as like, is this a 1-year thing? Where what if Kim leaves in free agency, which is what I expect to happen. I don't expect an extension to get done at this point in time. Let's say he leaves, does Bogaerts go right back to short, or does this allow Bogaerts to just stay at second base, Cronenworth stay at first base, and you have Merrill, who's playing? It seems like he's going to play majority of the outfield, majority of his playing time in the outfield this spring. Is that where Merrill goes back to shortstop? Because Kim left that hole there, and they want to keep Bogaerts and Cronenworth where they're at, and where they hopefully end up being comfortable because they've had more time there. Cronenworth will be going on his second year at first base, obviously, and Bogaerts will be at the end of 2024. It's not etched in stone, like Mike Shildt was saying, but let's say he plays second base the whole year. That's a full year playing second base, and he will have adjusted to that. So I wonder what this means for the future. But for 2024, I think you have to view this as, okay, this is a good sign. It's a good sign because defensively, I think Kim at shortstop's the better thing. And well, I think Bogaerts will be able to adjust at second base. And just overall team mentality wise, sacrificing day one. I put this out on Twitter. Day one, full squad spring training. And we already have a very positive sign about this Padres team. Sacrifice. And we didn't see enough of that clearly last season. So for that, I'm happy about this. I think a lot of Padres fans are happy about this. And I think you should be. You know, this is a guy in Xander Bogaerts that hasn't done anything with the Padres, right? That's what Padres fans care about. You could win with the Red Sox, but we care about winning here. And you were signed to a bigger contract than any other team was willing to give you to help win here. And you have your money, do what's best for the team. And this feels like at this point in time, this is what is best for the team. So I love this team first mentality. That's what a lot of these guys need to have in 2024, which was something that probably was lacking in 2023. Give your thoughts in the comments. I believe I'll be doing a show. I plan on doing a show later today, kind of talking about day one, full squad spring training, and obviously having that live chat going.